R5, video 1. Oh, it feels good to say that. Sun, I believe, is going that way. So we can either go down this trail here. We'll end up shooting into the sun. If I go down the tracks, I'll eventually have the sun up my back. So I think we're gonna hit the tracks. Normal walking here, just to check the stabilization. Man, I got shit for light over here. I didn't want to see. And I spooked the ducks. Hey, 12/16/23 today. Probably the last vlog for the year, I'll tell you that right now. It's been so difficult to get out here, man. Between the freaking weather and the fucking working and the freaking shorter days. It's December 16th and it's like, I'd say over 50 degrees out today. It's pretty freaking beautiful. But I got some new toys. Oh boy. Not only did I get some new toys, I've pretty much revamped the entire vlog as far as audio and video and everything goes. I'm still buying stuff. I'm still adding. Gonna be doing that for a while. I'm trying to move away from the GoPros. I like them. I love my GoPros, don't get me wrong, but they're B-cam. They're not A-cam. And I've been using them way too much, especially that Hero 11 Black is just, I love the footage I get. That 5.3K video is just beautiful, but the damn thing overheats. It's freaking stabilizing that thing is just a pain in my ass. I bought a new stabilizer for the R5. I got a Feiyutech because I got to stick with my FEIYUs. I do like Feiyutech, they're good stuff. But I got a SCORP-C. I didn't get the SCORP Mini. I didn't get the SCORP Pro or whatever, or the regular SCORP. The reason being, because I don't want the damn touchscreen. I got the R5 on here. I got a new lens for the R5. I got the RF 16mm f2.8. I picked up a, what is it, a B&H 43mm ND6, ND 1.86 stops, MRC Nano ND filter. So hopefully it looks good. So I think I'm running this son of a bitch at like 2.8 right now. New audio, I went with the Rode Wireless Pros. Seemed like a good option. Because not only can I send my audio straight to the camera, but I also got these guys, a little transmitter pack. There's also like a 40-hour freaking recorder and at 32-bit float, which, hey, I'm not gonna complain. That's pretty mint. So I got audio going to the camera, good audio going to the camera. I got my levels set pretty good. They're not dialed in perfect yet, but that's what this vlog is for. So I'm out here dicking around, doing some audio, doing some video, playing with the stabilizer. Found me a decent spot here. I'm not seeing no activity out here though, whatsoever. Yeah, so I've been out here probably, I don't know, hour and a half. And there is like nothing going on. Sun's going behind the trees, so over here is all in shadow. It's getting colder. I'm gonna start heading home. So back up the tracks. Back to the van, get a little bit more footage, take it home, throw it on the computer, see what I got, check out the audio, maybe give you guys a better look at all my new toys I got going on here. How does that sound? Let's go do that. This feels really awkward. All right, let's try this. All right, moving pretty fast here. Trying to hold this thing still and in the middle of the tracks. How's this view? Is it too close or what? It's pretty comfy. Got the tripod right in my hip. So one downside about this whole rig, my R5's busy. I only got the one. I've already been looking at more R5s, at least another body. They're also talking about the R5 Mark II supposed to be possibly announced in February. This is where I should have went when I fucking hung out all day. Probably would have had better luck. The other problem is I just shot a 5-minute freaking 8K video. Hey, 12/23/23 today. It's been about a week since I shot that test vlog footage. I haven't got much done with it. I've had a damn toothache for like a week now. I got the flu here like 2 days before Christmas. So I haven't done much with it, other than just get it in the computer, get it proxied, and do some coloring. But I wanted to show you my new toys before we get into that. I've been using the DR05 with the lav mic for, geez, a couple years now at least. Never let me down. It's always worked good, unless I had the audio set too loud or the mic set too high or whatnot. The only issue I had was I had that big unsightly audio bag, this guy, hanging off my damn hip with the DR05 in there with some foam around it to keep it somewhat stabilized. And I ran the cord out up my shirt and kind of like as it is now. I wanted something more discreet. So I started looking into like the DJI mic, the Rode mics, and a couple other ones. I decided to go with the Rode Wireless Pros. I really like the sound of that 32-bit. That is like something that I could really use for doing this vlog. 32-bit float, it's just like, it's for normalizing audio and correcting tracks, you know. It would be like perfect for what I'm doing with the vlog, where if I'm walking around, I step on a freaking twig and all of a sudden my freaking audio peaks out, you know? Not to mention the fact each one of those transmitters is also a 40-hour recorder. So you got 80 hours of freaking recording time, or you got 40 hours of stereo recording. That's no joke right there. Plus you could transmit it right straight to the camera. Sometimes maybe I won't even need the 32-bit float if I get good audio going on the camera. I'm getting the levels dialed in still. The 32-bit float it's mint, I like it. I did screw up with the test vlog though. When I imported the audio, I did it the same as if I was doing photos and video. I just opened up 2 windows on the screen and just dragged everything over. I listened to it briefly and I'm like, oh yeah, it sounds great, it sounds great. I don't even have to normalize or nothing like that. But then I looked down at my audio interface and found out it was cranked up to 3/4 of the way. So I was like, oh shit, put it down to 50% where I usually have it. And yeah, the audio tracks were too quiet. But it was too late to normalize them at this point. You have to do it when you import them straight off the transmitter. That's the only time you can normalize it, unless you can do it in your audio editor or video editor, whatever you're using. So the next thing I picked up was the RF 16mm f2.8. The reasoning behind that is I needed a wide-angle lens for the R5. I do have my 8-15. When I'm out hiking, I go through some pretty nasty shit sometimes. Maybe I don't want my 8-15 on there with that big protruding front element and, you know, getting bashed on every stick and branch and everything else and thorns, and maybe I'll pick up something a little bit cheaper. So the RF 16mm seemed like the best bet. I actually really like the video that comes off of it. It's got a really nice image quality, that's for sure. I did pick up an ND filter for it, like I said. I got the B&W, not the B&H, the B&W. I bought it at B&H, but it's a B&W. 6-stop ND. Seems to work. I mean, it's an ND filter, so Oh, the other thing that came in too, my Kolari ND filters for the EF to RF adapter. They finally came in after like 2 months. I believe I ordered them early October and they showed up early December. So like 2 months I waited for those damn things. Supposed to be 2 weeks when I originally bought them. I was actually just getting ready to cancel the order when I got the email that they shipped. But I got an ND3 and I got an ND6. So a 3-stop and a 6-stop. I kind of want to do some long exposure kind of stuff during the day. So I might even invest in like a 10-stop eventually. The 6-stop was just more for when I'm shooting videos. The 3-stop maybe for doing some like just landscape stuff, maybe time lapses and landscape, shit like that. So of course the last thing I got was my SCORP-C, which I'm really digging this thing. I picked it up on a Black Friday deal. I got it like really cheap, probably like $100 cheaper than it usually is. I kind of brought it on an impulse, I will admit. I saw the payload, I figured, oh, 5.5 pounds payload. I was weighing up the R5 with the 8 to 15 on there and I was getting around, I think a little over 3 pounds. Another reason I picked up the 16 mil just to, relieve some of the weight I had going on there while I was out hiking. But I also picked up the carbon fiber extension rod. I forget how tall it is off the top of my head. I'll have to put it in the screen here. This thing is like virtually lightweight. It's really crazy. The only thing that worries me is this tiny little 1/4-20 screw on top is kind of chintzy. I wouldn't want to hold the thing just by the rod and kind of move it around over my head and shit like that because it's, like I said, kind of iffy. But other than that, this thing works great with the 8 to 15, the 16 mil, the Rode recorders on the top. I mean, there's just no issues. It just stabilizes everything great from what I'm seeing so far. So what did I think of the video? Well, I thought the hiking footage was really good. Going down the tracks, I thought the SCORP-C really stabilized the R5 very, very well. And there's a little bit of bounce on the tracks you can see in the foreground, but I mean, that's pretty normal. I do need to stop the aperture down a bit, especially for like the talking head stuff. As good as it looks, I really want the background and focus a little bit better too, because it is a hiking vlog. The forest is pretty much, if not more important than me on camera, so I do need to stop down the aperture some. The audio from the Rode wireless, just magnificent. I love it, absolutely love it. My 4th and 5th Rode mics, because it came with 2. I absolutely love my Rode mics, I really do. I just bought an NT1 as well for recording my acoustic guitars. I also have a Rode M3, I believe, back there. Yeah, stabilization on the Scorp, I thought it was great. I mean, it isn't like perfectly flawless or nothing, but I mean, it's pretty damn good from what I saw. And the other thing, the app works with it. Whoa, good job, Feiyutech. I tore him a new asshole with that G6 video. I absolutely love my G6, but that app was just absolutely horrible. It was just like the most bullshit thing I've ever used. It wasn't holding settings. I mean, it was like just doing all kinds of weird stuff. And I'm probably using the same damn phone that I was using with that app. And I got the Scorp app in there now, and honestly, it works great. It does everything it's supposed to from like the minimal tests that I've did. I just played around a little bit, but it did everything it was supposed to. I had no fault with it. It's actually nice to have. You could adjust the motor strength and shit like that. I mean, there's not like real detailed options or anything. I think you get like high or low. But it is good to have. I guess with the other Scorps with the touchscreen, you could do that right on the gimbal itself. I didn't want that touchscreen. I mean, I got the touchscreen on the R5. That's about all the touchscreen I really want when I'm out there. And the best thing about this, when I first started carrying it out there, I realized this thing is comfortable to carry. You wouldn't think with this big ass setup that I had going, the extension rod and the camera on here, you wouldn't think it would be all that comfortable to carry down the tracks hiking, but I mean, it's like barely noticeable. I mean, it was like carrying the G6. I thought it was almost more comfortable than carrying the G6 because of the way this handle is set. Because the way it hangs in your hand, it just like perfectly, you know, briefcase handles type. But yeah, this thing is a dream to carry. I also love this little wheel right here. This thing is cool as shit. I've been using it for like the up down tilt and the pans. I don't know if I'd really use the roll thing for anything. Maybe just like an effect or something. Of course, then they got the inception thing, all that needs in there too. But so as far as the things I didn't like about the video, well, the obvious one was that autofocus. I completely chose the wrong mode. That was my fault. I used the expanded AF square, center square with the dots all around it. I was usually going between that and the eye detect for animals. Kind of the way I had things set up at the time. Apparently it didn't work too well for me, not for vlogging. So I think what I had to do, leave autofocus on, now brings me to my custom menu where I can quickly switch my autofocus method between animal and people. Or I can go from eye detect to zone focus. I was taking the large horizontal. I think that would be a good one to try out. So I am going to have to do some autofocus switching on there. Hopefully it's not much of a pain in the ass while that thing's sitting on the SCORP-C. The other thing, the batteries go quick. Yeah, shooting 8K video on that R5, boy, man, that just sucks up batteries fast. Sitting here today, we're just shooting these videos. I've been through 1.5 batteries, and I haven't really been shooting anything long. I think the longest thing was probably like 3.5 minutes. So I picked up some more batteries. I bought 2 more batteries for the R5, so now I have 4 altogether. I picked up another 256 gigabyte card. So I probably got about a good hour's worth of 8K video that I could shoot altogether. Plus I got the batteries to cover that. So I think I'm good there. That's about it. Just wanted to give you an update what I got going on for 2024. And I'm really looking forward to this coming year. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. Shooting the vlog in 8K now, I mean, it's just going to be, it's going to be nasty. Time to get nasty. Oh yeah. But thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Tell me I suck. Give me a thumbs up. And I'll catch you in the next vlog. Later.